The point of making this video is gonna be talking about myself again. I don't really feel like I told you guys like enough about me. A lot of stuff has happened to me. Just to let you guys know that I am 17. I'm turning 18 next month. It's gonna be crazy. I'm getting my diploma next week. Hopefully. Hopefully nothing goes wrong and I get it. So I am not in high school, if any of you guys were wondering. I took GED classes to get my diploma. I don't know if you guys. Oh, of course, you guys are wondering, why am I not in high school? You probably don't even care, but please stick around. If you want to know what happened to me, then stay for the rest of the video. I'll start it back. 2012 is when it happened. Now, I was in public school. I was in a school that I will not mention, but I was in a public school for my freshman year of high school. I had just moved from Pennsylvania back to Rhode Island, and when I was at church, I heard my cousin was at a private school, and they were telling me how good it was, and you get your own iPad and all stuff. So I was like, all right, that sounds pretty good. So I went over there. It was a Christian private school. I had an interview. I passed it. I did the scores. I aced the scores. I got in. First day sucked. Nobody talked to me. Nobody looked at me. I just went in. I was just by myself. I kept to myself. And I remember I was so intimidated that at lunch I ate by myself. I went to the bathroom and I ate my lunch. And it wasn't that like everybody was looking at me wrong. It's just that I was so nervous being in a private school because I wasn't in a private school before. So I was by myself the whole day. Of course, I don't know if anybody you guys know, if you're still in high school, the first day school sucks. It depends. If you have friends that came over, then you're like, hey guys, what's up, But for freshman year, for sophomore year, for me, it sucked. I transferred from freshman year to sophomore year, from public school to private school, and it sucked. So what happened was I was there for 2 years until last year. Yeah, until last year. What happened was I wore a scarf to Spanish class. I was wearing a scarf and no other teacher was telling me to take it off because I wasn't disturbing anybody. I wasn't, causing a ruckus. I wasn't doing anything bad. I was just wearing a scarf. So the Spanish teacher kept on telling me to take it off every day. And I was wondering to myself, why is she the only one telling me to take it off when all the other teachers don't have a problem with it? And then one day, I remember this day because it was on my mom's birthday, March 25th, on a Friday. She told me to take out the scarf, and I told her no. And it was just the first time I ever told a teacher no. If any of you out there are curious to actually tell a teacher no, you get expelled. If you're curious, if I tell a teacher no, what happened? You either get expelled or you get suspended. That's what happens. I told her no, and she came over to try to take my scarf off, and I grabbed it back from her. She sent me to the principal's office. The principal asked me to take it off, and I said no again. And he told me that I had to do what he says, and I said no, I don't. If the teacher and you ask me to jump off the stairway, I'm not going to do it. But you're telling me that I should do it because I have to do what you say. And I told him no, I'm not going to do it because in our rule book, in the school's rule book, it doesn't mention anything about scarf, whether you can have it on or off. So I just took it to myself like, well, I'm gonna have it on because it doesn't say it anywhere in the student rule book or in the school's rules. Only he decides to do it. But I was thinking to myself, but you're the principal, so if you tell me to take out my scarf, I have to do it, even though it doesn't mention it even in the school rule book. So I told him no, and then he starts explaining to me that I'm wrong and that the school says this and that I have to follow whatever he says and all that stuff. And I said, oh, well, I don't give a crap. I'm not taking my scarf off. I like a scarf. It's a freaking scarf. So I said no, and then he said, how about you don't come into school next Monday? And I wanted to say this so bad, but I did it. And I said, how about, I was going to say, Monday doesn't work for me. How about Tuesday? Not Tuesday. Probably Wednesday is good for me. I wanted to say that so bad, but back then, a year ago, I was so, submissive to people who were older than me. I just did whatever anybody told me to. So it was weird also for me to stand my guard and to stand up for myself. So I didn't say that. I just said, oh, okay, whatever, I don't care. Then he said that you have to get it. He's like, oh, let's bring in your parents and let's talk about it. And I said, oh, fine. I said, well, let me apologize to the teacher so we could just get this over so I could go back to school next Tuesday. And he didn't want to let it go. So, no, we're going to call your parents. I was like, fine, whatever. So I went with my parents that Monday and we talked and we tried to discuss it. He tried to get my own parents to come against me, but other than that, he gave me an option either to apologize to him and to the teacher, which I already did on that Friday, but he wanted me to do it again in front of the class that I was at. And he wants me to apologize to the students because, for some reason, I forget, because he wanted me to, I guess. I told him, oh, fine. And I was like, I didn't feel good. I was like, this seems weird. I don't feel right. Then he had told me, well, the other option is just to leave. So I didn't have an option. I wasn't gonna. It's not about being prideful or humble. I wasn't gonna admit that I was wrong because I wasn't wrong. You know, it's not in his power to tell me everything I have to do. I'm not a robot. I'm not his kid. I'm not anybody that he owns. You know, the only thing he can do is just when I'm on school property. The only thing they can do is protect me from others. And the teachers were just supposed to tell me what to do, not tell me what to do, but just to teach me what to do. That's what the word, not tell me, teach me what to do. And if you think about it, it's the only teacher's job. They're not the police or they're not the babysitter, you know? They can't tell me what to do or what not to do. They can just teach me. They don't have the power to tell me what to do. Neither does the principal. So if the principal tells me what to do in accordance of the school rules, then of course I'll do it. But if he's telling me what to do for his own power that's going to his own mind, that doesn't have to do anything with school rules, then of course I'm not going to do it. So I had to leave because I was going to stay under that guy's power because he thinks he's all high and mighty. Same thing with the rest of the school. Hey guys, so just to let you know guys that I made 2 other channels, Leo Lee and Leo Lee 2. Those channels are going to be mostly where I'm paying attention. This channel is going to be mostly focused on project films that I'm going to be doing. I'll be going around just filming and probably doing short films and all that stuff, and probably acting in some of those short films too. So that's going to be this channel. I'm going to be posting those videos on this channel. On Leo Lee is my gaming channel, so if you guys want check me out on gaming, just subscribe over there. Leo Lee 2 is going to be a reaction type channel. I'll do other stuff on that channel too, but mostly it's going to be reacting videos. Until I get my equipment, I'm going to be posting more videos for you guys. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.